He came highly recommended by a contact as the very best person to talk to about a house that might be a tear down. It was a late 1950s house that had never really been updated. We'd grown up in since 1958. We didn't hesitate to hire Tim and his team. He is just a pleasure to work with, to talk to. He's so passionate about his profession. He loves Ridgefield, very realistic about the possibilities in the marketplace.
We wanted to live in close to our daughter who lives in Reading. We met Tim and he did the job. He was honest, he was caring, and he was truthful. And not only did we buy a house for him when we were ready to sell it, he sold it for us.
He was a neighbor and a friend. So I knew the family, they knew my family, so there was a good connection.
I interviewed 3 different realtors, and Tim, the moment he walked into my home, he was warm, he was kind, he had a smile on his face. You're just so comfortable with Tim. That was my first interaction. I didn't know anything about Tim, but it was totally an interaction that you don't have with many people.
Tim helped us prepare for market by making a few suggestions about what we could do to make the house more marketable, a little bit of touch-up painting, re-roofing, and probably the biggest recommendation Tim had for us was hiring a stager who we never would have thought of ourselves. And I think that was the best investment we made. Tim has a recommendation for contractors of any kind, and he responds immediately.
When we agreed to list our house, he told me that he felt that we should use a stager. You know, it took me a little while, but I listened to him. And that was the best decision we could have done. And he also told us to get lost for 3 days while he showed the house, which we did. We went up to the Berkshires and, had a grand old time. And when we came back, there were like 6 offers on the house.
Gave me advice on some things I should probably sell, get rid of, donate, and so on. They had good advice because, of course, they have all kinds of contacts, and I prefer the good advice of someone who I trust.
Tim has a wonderful team. He has a stager, he has Shannon, who is a personal organizer. I had so many files that I needed help with what to keep, what not to keep, what to shred, and Shannon has been working with me, and we're whittling down a pile, and I couldn't have done it without her. Tim got me in touch with his stager, Stephanie, and from the very beginning, she has answered all my questions. She has come to the house and told me things that I didn't recognize that could be changed, that could help in the sale, and present the house in its best light.
He knows the local markets like the back of his hand, knows Ridgefield so well, loves Ridgefield.
First of all, Tim is smart. He knows his business. He's honest, he's caring, and he'll go the extra mile. There's a lot of agents out there, some are pretty good, but in my opinion, he's the best there is. And his team will just follow along in his footsteps.
Rather deal with someone I know who I feel is a friend and is looking out for the business, of course, but my welfare primarily.
I have been working with Tim for about 3 months, maybe 4 months, and he has been so helpful and so honest, and there's nothing that he won't do for you to help you, and he has a whole team. They're as kind and as efficient as he is. I would recommend Tim to anybody.